Hi, hello. In this video, I'm going to help you understand the measure phase activities in a Six Sigma project. So these are the topics we are going to understand. The measure phase toll gate review, and then the measure phase steps and deliverables, and then the measure phase tools. And so let us have a detailed understanding of each of these things. The toll gate review, which means the important questions you should be able to answer as a Six Sigma project team, right? And then only you can actually move on to the analyze phase. And then the steps involved while actually doing a DMAG project in the measure phase and the main deliverable at the end of the measure phase. And finally, the tools that can help you in the measure phase steps. And this is just an introductory kind of video. The subsequent videos will take you deeper into the steps as well as tools. So these are the toll gate review questions. The first question, have you identified the CTQs to be measured? See, we are in the measure phase. We wanted to measure the baseline performance. We wanted to understand the ground reality. The rejection is 10%. Is it really 10% or is it more than that? Right? Or really, is there a problem exist? So we have to verify with the data because Six Sigma is a data-driven approach. So we need to collect the data. So what kind of data to be collected, or what are the characteristics of your product, characteristics of your service, characteristics of your process needs to be measured so that you can actually understand the ground reality. So that's the first question to be answered. We call it as CTQs, critical to quality characteristics. And the next question that needs to be answered is, do you have an appropriate data collection plan? Who is going to collect the data? What kind of data he is going to collect? How much data he is going to collect, right? And when he should collect the data, where from he should collect the data, and how he should collect the data. So all these questions, should have a clear answers. What we call it as data collection plan. Otherwise, what will happen? Your data will be contaminated with lot of error. To avoid that, we should always have a data collection plan. So whether whoever is collecting the data will be always credible. The third question, is the measurement system you are going to use in your project is really capable and adequate? That means whether the measurement system can help you to measure the entire range of the data. For example, you measure, the current flow, and the current flow is going to range somewhere from, let's say, 5 ampere to 50 ampere. Do you actually have, a measurement system which can help you measure the data covering the entire range, the adequacy of the measurement system? At the same time, when I actually use such a measurement system, is the measurement system can give error-free readings? So these two questions will clarify on the adequacy of the measurement system as well as the capability. We consider any measurement system to be capable if the measurement error or the total measurement error is less than 10% of the working range, right? And now, is the data collected appropriate for analysis? Now that you have a valid measurement system, you have a data collection plan, you actually collected the data. Can I use this data for analysis purpose? Can I use the data for calculation of baseline? And now it's very important that your data is credible for analysis. So the data is considered to be credible if it is collected from the relevant source. The data is considered to be credible if it is collected without any measurement error. And if at all there is any measurement error, it should be less than 10%, right? And so we always do, do some analysis before using any data, and that will talk about the credibility of the data for analysis. And then finally, the important goal of the measure phase, which is, calculating the baseline. Once you calculate the baseline and you have already set the define, in the target in the define phase. So the difference between the define target set and the baseline will help you to understand the gap in the performance. So you have a clear idea about how far your project goal is from the current performance. If you can answer all these questions, that means you have done the measure phase properly. And now we are moving on to understand the steps that are involved in the measure phase. There are three steps always in any phase of a Six Sigma project. So already in define, we have completed three phase. And so the step number 4, the data collection plan. What is the characteristics to be measured? What kind of data it is, and what unit, and in what unit you will be measuring, in what frequency, in what quantity, and that's called data collection plan. And then validate the measurement system. If I use a specific measurement system, how much is going to be the measurement error? If the measurement error is less than 10%, then the measurement system is considered valid, otherwise invalid, right? And then the third step, the last step in the measure phase is actually measuring the baseline performance. You can measure the baseline in terms of yield, in terms of DPMO, in terms of CPCPK, or in terms of sigma level. Fundamentally, all of them are same, and we can use whichever is convenient to our organization and our process. And ultimately, the main deliverable from the measure phase is the baseline performance, the ground reality. Where are we currently standing, right? So the gap in performance is very clear. And once the gap in performance is clear, we can move on to the analyze phase, and then we can actually analyze the reason for the gap in performance. So the main deliverable from the measure phase is baseline performance. And now these are all the tools which we need to master so that we can actually conduct the define phase steps properly. For data collection plan, tools like operational definition, data type, like there are different types of data exist, continuous data and discrete data. We are going to discuss all of them in the subsequent videos. And for measurement system validation, we must learn tools like bias, repeatability, reproducibility, and then gauge R&R. And for baseline performance, we have tools like traditional yield, first pass yield, rolled throughput yield, DPMO, CPCPK. Of course, we have already mastered the sigma level in the introduction stage itself. So that means all these tools we must be familiar, and we should be able to use them in our Six Sigma project. So we will be learning all these tools one by one in the subsequent videos. Thank you so much for watching.